Day baseball is back. Doubleheaders. First doubleheaders of the season today. Thanks to some postponed games. Justin, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Mike? Excited to be here as always. It is a lovely Tuesday morning here in New York. Probably going to get a little bit more rain. There was a lot of weather across the country last night with that nor'easter sweeping through. Kind of feeling a little bit of the remnants of it, a little bit of cold air still across the country, definitely on the northeast. We'll talk a little bit about how it's affecting the games and break down everything. You know, this is Market Movers. You know what we do. But let's get started. From the top today, we are going to have some of those double headers. I know, Mike, your numbers didn't have everything on this first Arizona game because they didn't really announce pitchers last night, right?
Yeah, I waited as long as I could too last night, man. We're past midnight by the time I was getting to the point of running sims and everything. There were 3 games that didn't have starting pitching information. That was the first one with Bumgarner on the mound. We didn't know who was going to start for Washington. Let's see. Who is starting for Washington?
It's Gray. Gray's pitching it.
Josiah Gray? Okay. Yeah. So that is good news because we already had that simulation run from the day before. I can grab that and tell you where it is. The only thing that would change is potentially minor tweaks to the weather, but
yeah.
Overall, I don't think that's going to change much. So I'll see if I can pull that one up and let you know where it was at. But do you have any thoughts on this game?
Not really. I mean, they're starting literally every single lefty they can. Nobody's going to hit from the right side of the plate against Josiah Gray today. He did not have a great couple first starts. I think this is his second start, might be his third. I'll double check that right now. But that's not really too important. What I'm looking at are, of course, his expected numbers, and he has an X slugging percent of .511. So not really going too well. Hard hit percentage is almost at 60%. Just not having a good start to the year. Neither is Madison Bumgarner. I didn't really know what to do with Gray. I don't really trust this Arizona offense all that much, to be honest with you. They don't look good. They've been cold. The entire team feels kind of icy. So I'm good continuing to fade the Diamondbacks. That's how you want to play it. But I actually played fading Bumgarner because he's been pretty awful too. So I just took a play against him on the first 5 team total for the Nationals. That's all I'm really going to be doing for this one.
Yep. So I pulled the number up. Same matchup as yesterday. Again, I haven't resimulated it. There's some maybe minor tweaks for lineups and injuries. And weather at that point, but it's not going to change it too much. The number from yesterday was 122. We made Washington minus 122. They're currently minus 145, at least at MGM and some of the other places I'm looking. So we're getting some slight value the other way. Slight value on Arizona with Bumgarner. I don't love it. I'm glad that it's not enough that I don't have to go play it. At this point, it's basically saying the number is efficient. My 122 is right around the 120 in the market. So for me, it would be a pure stay away. Not much to talk about.
I don't even see the umpires even announced yet. I don't think we have the crew chief or the umpire really announced who's playing where. The weather, very little effect out here today. There's a cross park breeze, 15-mile-an-hour gusts in Washington today. Again, I just don't think Madison Bumgarner is that great. And if you're going to give me plus 125 for the Nationals to get 3 runs on him in the first 5 innings, I don't hate my odds. Again, it's really just about that, right? Like I'm not promising, oh man, it's going to be a plus 125 winner, but that should probably be like plus 115, plus 110. I'll take the plus.
So we do have umpire information for this game.
Okay.
And it's definitely going to support the over. Ted Barrett is behind home plate. He's been a pretty significant over umpire dating back to 2019. Pretty large sample size here. We're talking 120, 140 games. Pretty big. So in 2021, last year though, he was 19, 12, and 1. Again, 32 game sample size, but 61.3% towards the over, 9.3 runs per game. Quite a few walks per game called. So definitely going to trend towards the over with the umpire situation.
Yeah, I mean, the umpire situation definitely, I think if you're going to do it, you're going to play on the first 5 overs probably because, again, these starters aren't great, but both teams have rested pens. They neither played yesterday. So So I'm probably staying away from full game totals because you're relying on how the best arms are going to pitch. You're probably going to see Melanson and Ian Kennedy, and maybe even Mantiply. And again, Kennedy isn't all that great, but Melanson isn't bad. I think we could see them in a win situation. I think you could end up getting like a tilting late game, no run score after the first 4 innings type of game. But yeah, we don't need to talk about this one too much. It's the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, I was trying to see if anything happened recently. FanDuel just pulled the game, but everyone else has it up still, so nothing crazy. Giants, game 1. Alex Cobb, McGill. This is a fascinating series. I think these teams are awesome. It's going to be really fun to watch this series. Back to back today. For me personally, I know a lot of people love offense. We love unders. I just do. They're fun. I enjoy the painful sweat of an under in pretty much every sport. But anytime we see a total at 7, and not 7.5, but 7 starts to get down to the 6.5s, I love to see that. You're in for 2 teams that are playoff quality teams. It's going to be a great baseball game. So I lean towards the under. I was hoping we would see 7.5s, and we might. It's over at -120 on the 7 that I see at DraftKings. Still over -120. There's a shot that we get a 7.5. It's trying to get to 7.5. If it does, I would play it. Yeah,
I'm trying to get it there, Mike, because I got some people on the over, and I'll tell you why. I understand why people like Cobb. I do. He's really great. McGill's pitching really well too. I mean, Cobb's numbers look ridiculous right now. He's striking out 47% of his batters to open the season. But both these offenses are both very solid as well. I mean, the guys on the top of the San Francisco Giants lineup are all just hitting the ball really hard right now. The Mets probably are hoping to get a little bit more out of guys like, at the bottom of their lineup, McNeil, McCann, Marte, not all doing that great, but they're not striking out. They're making contact. It means they're probably going to get a couple balls to fall. I find 7 a little low for teams that might be able to battle against these starters, get them out by the 5th inning or in the middle of the 5th inning, maybe the 6th even too, and then maybe try to get to the bullpen. I'm not really too sold on the Mets bullpen. Again, Lugo hasn't looked good. Diaz hasn't been that crazy. They haven't been getting a lot of save opportunities. This is probably going to be a game where there are going to be some high pressure pitching opportunities. Like you're talking about, low total means there are going to be these big scenarios, guy on second base with 1 out. Like that's a huge at bat in a game that's projected to have 7 runs. I think those scenarios are going to be what makes us get to this total. I don't trust the pitching as much as maybe people are. A lot of people on the under. I think just 7's a low number. I think these offenses could get us there. And the wind's going to be blowing out to like right field at 13 miles an hour. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'll lean under still, but I don't disagree with you completely, especially in a doubleheader. It'll be interesting to see the bullpen usage and just the overall lineup usage when we get lineups for this game. We have not received starting lineups for this game yet, so that'll be interesting. You want to pull the Sims back up just so I could show the number quickly on it?
Yeah, I didn't realize they were down. Sorry.
Obviously, Sims, you can get them on Discord. They're also on Sportsline as well right now. So,
how did they get sent? I didn't even notice. All right, my bad. All right, but next game, while we get this up right now, the window got closed. That's funny.
White Sox and Cleveland Guardians. I almost said the Indians again, but the Guardians.
Still do that all the time. All right, there we go. So I'm kind of with you here, Mike. I was kind of shocked to see the White Sox, not favored. I understand everybody likes Shane Bieber, but I'm already kind of kicking myself for taking him in my dynasty league this year. I don't know how his grip on the ball has looked. It's been a little suspect for him.
Yep.
I don't know. I think this game is going to be a game where the White Sox can definitely get it done here. I also like the under, so let me hear your thoughts on both of those.
Well, I definitely like the White Sox side of it. So I played it last night at +126. Speaking of which, a lot of people have asked me about some of these lines. Win Sportsbook. I know a lot of you don't have access to it. I fortunately do. And it was a sportsbook that I used initially and then kind of didn't play much with them. And then once I've rediscovered them, and they've made a real concerted effort to have the best pricing out there. They definitely do. They're making themselves like a bookmaking, a line making shop. Like they're really really great lately. So they've been producing tons of great lines. That's where half of my action has come from in the last 2 weeks now.
Maybe I need to
They
sign
had a
up.
great line. Plus 126. Simulation makes the White Sox the better team. Makes them favored here. Minus 104. Excellent number on the plus 126. Not a ton to say about it other than, again, I'm not a huge believer. I think that's what people say. I'm not a huge believer at this
Does that
point.
count
So
here though? Is that the right Bieber? Like, are you? Look. I love it. I love it. I'm a little bit torn. Like, I think, look, he does have the right peripherals, right? The numbers have looked good, but not that good that you're like, okay, he's impervious. We've seen this White Sox lineup look good. Yeah, I'm with you, but I do think it's going to be a low scoring game. I don't think the Guardians are going to score all that much today. That's going to be the problem. It's not really going to be Bieber's pitching. It's just going to be the offense is kind of falling off. They're headlined by like some young kids right now, right? Like Mercado and Quan, and then that second baseman who they have as well. They're all like 25 years old, and they've kind of just gone a little cold. So that's what's going to happen with kids. So yeah, I'm on the White Sox as well. Plus, I got plus 122. What can you do?
Yep, it's just still a great line. And I lean towards the under as well, 7.3. We talked about it, the weather a little bit. We can hit it more, though. Definitely going to be cold. Winds definitely going to have an impact here, blowing in. Very strong winds in this one. I believe up to 20 miles per hour in some of the spots. So definitely trending on the under with you as well. Let's see.
I'm literally signing up for WinBet right now because I didn't even know it was available in New York, and I will
Is
take
it?
It is, yeah. NewYork.winbet.com. I mean, it's letting me sign up. So if not, then I don't know. That sucks. But I'm going to give it a shot. Why not, right?
Yep.
All right.
I mean, just absurd lines that see what's available now at this point. Yesterday, like on some of the games, I was getting 22 cents better in some of the MLB games.
We'll take it.
White Sox is still plus 126 at win right now.
That's crazy. Yeah, look, I mean, 4 cents. Look, in the long run, you're not really going to complain about getting 3 or 4 cents on every line if you can. That's that can
compared to where you're shopping at MGM, they're plus 110. You're getting 16.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. That's pretty nuts for like a marquee matchup too. I mean, that's Dallas Keuchel and Shane Bieber. It's not like some schlubby game that nobody's paying attention to. So yeah. I'm going to probably be looking into putting some money on that book because let's go. Why wouldn't I want better lines? But all right. What do you think about this St. Louis game, Miami? I mean, your model has an expected line of 139 in favor of the Cardinals, and we're getting minus 110 at DraftKings right now.
Yep.
Crazy. But before I even saw your number, I was like, I knew because Luzardo's coming off that 12 strikeout performance. He looked incredible. It's kind of like a recency bias tax, right? But you're still getting this Cardinal team that is just nasty. I know we agree on this one today.
Yeah, and it's probably going to be a pretty heavy public spot, which I personally don't mind it at all because I'm running simulations and I really don't care where anybody else lines up at this point. So, but yeah, I love this spot for him, honestly. Recency biases on both sides, right? So Luzardo, obviously massive strikeout stuff. It's a great pitching environment overall. Wainwright had a rough start on the road against the Brewers in the Brewers home opener. I think it's okay to disregard that one a little bit. But for me, it's this Cardinals team. It's one that I want to deploy them against left-handed pitching. And that's what we get here today. This Cardinals lineup is going to have 9 right-handed hitters for Luzardo to face. Yeah, I think this game should be a pick 'em at worst. It's minus 110 basically on both sides right now. But I have the Cardinals winning this game 58.2% of the time. I'm not, look, I think this is a great spot for it. I played it multiple ways. If you're on Discord or Sportsline, you've already seen how I've played this game. But I played it more than just the minus 110.
Yeah, I agree. I also took another line as well. I'm going to go ahead and grab the first 5 team total for the Cardinals. Was sitting at 1.5 at DraftKings. Again, it's minus 120. I'll take the slight juice. I don't really love taking anything past 120. I have a couple plays. I think I have a play at minus 130 or minus 145 on a money line today. I don't really love doing it, but this is a good situation. I mean, Luzardo, if you look at how he pitched last year, he was not what that first start was. And we expect a regression to the mean a little bit here. I think he gives up 2 runs in the first 5. And I think, honestly, the Cardinals win. So I like the first 5 line there. I like backing today. It's a good price. That is definitely the truth there. All right. But next game up, what do we got? We got a little Yankee action. Is that what's next on this one? Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. We do. One more thing, though. I want to hit on Luzardo just really, really quickly. Yeah. If you look at some of his career numbers, the splits, we definitely want to deploy right-handed hitters against the lefty here. 291 weighted on base average allowed against lefties in his career, 356 against righties. That definitely is below major league average. He's allowed 27 home runs in those innings that he's pitched. Some of the peripherals, they're okay, but they're definitely not great. We're talking league average starter at best against a lineup full of right-handed hitting. It's great value on the Cardinals tonight.
Definitely. All right. So my New York Yankees going to Detroit. Garrett Cole taking the mound. I mean, is Garrett Cole just the most spider tack pitcher ever? He has not started well. There are not the worst hitting conditions today in Detroit. I mean, the wind is going to be blowing slightly out to left field, but I don't really trust Garrett Cole's slider right now. I don't trust his curveball right now. He doesn't have it. I'm going to bet against him. I got Tigers plus 190. I don't know why you wouldn't take that line today.
Yeah, no, I've definitely got some model edge on it. That's definitely the way I would lean if I were to play the game. So, yeah. The pitching conditions will definitely help Garrett Cole. It's a more friendly place to pitch than he's pitching most of the time in the AL East ballparks. Definitely true today in these weather conditions, but I also think it obviously really helps Tyler Alexander as well.
Yeah.
So my question to you would be, if you want to bet against the Tigers, do you like the under in the game? Or do you see the scenario where the Tigers win the game that's going over the total?
If you want to bet against or on the Tigers, because you said...
So if you're betting on the Tigers, does that mean that you like the under in the game is my question, because I personally see those events being correlated.
Sorry for that, Horn. Yeah, no, I think that's probably how you're looking at it. I think that's probably how you're looking at it. Because if this game's going over, it's probably because the Yankees are slugging the ball out of the park. The Tigers have not been exactly the most lighted up offense. I just think Cole could very, very easily give up a couple bombs. His expected slugging is above 500 right now. He is not pitching well. He did not finish the year pitching well. There have not been very many exhibitions of ace level Garrett Cole in the last year, it feels like. So I got a couple other plays here. I mean, I took the Tigers' first 5 team total to go over 1.5 runs. I think if they're going to win this game, it's going to be because they score on Cole, right? So I think this is a correlated play. Plus 125 for them to get 2 runs in the first 5 was a nice line. And then I sprinkled a 1/10 of a unit on Alexander to get a win at plus 360. I think he could do it. Again, he needs to pitch well. He needs to pitch very well for any of this to really go that way. I mean, of course, the team total over is a little independent. But, I think Tyler Alexander is going to pitch well today, believe it or not.
Yeah, I could definitely see it. Next game, don't have it because it wasn't up. It's the doubleheader, second game. So I'm not going to touch the second game of the doubleheader and not knowing what the bullpen usage looks like as well. Yeah. So we're going to sit that one out. You could talk about the Logan Webb Max Scherzer matchup. We expect both of those starters to go the distance, or at least far enough in that game. So I think it's okay to talk about that one. Any thoughts on that? Any interest? Where are you at on that?
Yeah, I think we need to watch for both these games. I do not have plays on either of the second games right now. I think they are relatively dependent on the first game, right? Like if we have a high-scoring game where teams can't get out of innings, like it changes the way the bullpen's going to look in the next game. You know who teams are going to face. You can start making specific bets. It's also hard to win both. I mean, I know that's kind of also a myth. I think it's pretty even in terms of how many doubleheaders go to are split or not. But yeah, I don't know. I think you could see. I think you want to watch and see what happens. You want to see what that second lineup looks like. You want to see how the usage is. I do not have any plays on either of the second games and I never will have early plays on a second game of a doubleheader. It just does not make sense.
Yeah, it's there's too much risk. It's not really necessary to make that play. So we can move on there.
Yep.
Toronto and Boston. This one is always going to be fascinating, especially this year with Boston, the way they are, Toronto making the gains that they are in the division. I think I know where you're at on the game. I haven't added the same play yet, but I'm going to.
I mean, I was shocked that you didn't have it. This is a great over spot. It just is a good over spot. I don't really trust Kikuchi. I don't really trust Eovaldi. I love these offenses more than I like the pitchers. I'm looking at their recent bullpen usage really quickly right now. Both teams were off yesterday, but I don't really, I don't think that makes too big of a difference here.
Boston played yesterday, but it was a very early game.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, why? Maybe the resource isn't weird. Yeah. That's weird. Fangraphs isn't updated then. That's annoying. Let me try reloading the page. But okay, that's okay. Let me recalibrate here. But either way, I just think that these offenses are just really good right now. I mean, yeah, the Blue Jays are still missing Teoscar Hernandez, who does definitely hurt in that lineup. But I mean, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is just a beast. Bo Bichette is probably looking to start getting hot. He's had a cold start, and it's a great hitting park. It just is.
It's a great hitting park. Not great hitting conditions overall in terms of air density, up to 74. Not something we love to see, but I don't think it matters much in this particular ballpark with these two teams. There's more than enough power there to lift balls out of the park pretty easily. So
the wind's blowing straight out too.
Yeah, not overly concerned about it. I do think that the wind conditions basically neutralize the actual air density in this spot. So I think it plays pretty neutral, pretty true to what you would expect at Fenway. And with these two teams, these two lineups, these two pitchers, we would expect 10 runs, not 9.
I think you get doubles. I think you get a lot of doubles today. It would not shock me to see a lot of doubles off the monster. It's going to be hard to get the ball out, but it's not going to be hard to get the ball far. Like, it's just the ball's not going to carry up. It's going to like hit. It's going to stay in the park, but you're going to get like a lot of doubles over the heads of the outfielders. Not a lot, but like more than expected. I really like the over here. It's how I'm going to play it. Over 9 is definitely a really nice line here. No real feel on the side. These American League East games, these teams are just going to beat up on each other. You're basically just like taking a swing. I mean, if you can get plus money on one side, maybe. But
getting this game at 9 instead of 9.5 is an absolute gift. Having the push condition at a 5-4 game is beautiful in this division. So
great play. Yeah, I agree. All right, Brubaker and Corbin Burns. I mean, this game is, juiced to heck. Yeah, there might be a little itsy bit of value on the Pirates, but I'm not touching this one.
Yeah, pretty significant value now on the Pirates. I'm seeing 225s and plus 230s in the market. So it is getting to the point where it actually is a nice, strong value play on Pittsburgh. I, for full disclosure, have not made that play yet. Undecided if we will, but we've looked at it. There's a chance that we would end up playing a money line or a run line on the Pirates. It would project as a plus 2.5. I would even consider a plus 3.5 alt line on it. I want to actually check and see what number I can find on that for now. I'm guessing it's probably still too juicy on it. Yeah, wow. There's the pricing on this game varies drastically from book to book.
I'm pretty sure that because these teams are familiar, they're expecting a relatively close win for the Brewers. I mean, they finally had their offense wake up last night, but even then, it felt like they got 6 runs in the first 2 innings off of that Christian Yelich home run off that grand slam, and then they just shut down, and the game didn't have another run. Like, I just still do not trust this Brewers offense. I don't think you can. Show me a reason why you can't. Like they got lucky that they had 3 guys on. They could have easily won that game 3-1 last night instead of 6. Yeah. So I like the alt line. I definitely like the alt line. Pirates plus 2.5, 3.5. I think it stays close. Winning margin bet could be in play. You can get a Brewers by 1 or 2 runs. I think that could be a really sharp play. I mean, Hader has 5 saves or something. It's absolutely insane. They're using him so much because they don't win by a lot. They aren't a strong offense. They're not going to blow you out unless they get a grand slam. It's just how it's been. But yeah, I don't know. You think you want to get an alt line there? Would you actually play the plus 2.5 or?
Not at the current price. Plus 2.5 is minus 250 still.
Gross.
So, yeah, no, it's not a comfortable spot. So I'm going to pass on that game at least for now. Tampa Bay and the Chicago Cubs. We've got Fleming and Justin Steele on the mound. At least we did last night. Let me confirm that those are still. Looks like Whistler, but same thing for Tampa. That game's off the board at FanDuel currently. Still
What do you
there
think
on.
what do you think of this Brewers by 1 or 2 runs plus 185 on FanDuel?
I don't mind it. I think it's an interesting call.
I might grab it for like a sprinkle. Probably a sprinkle play. But all right, sorry. Let's continue moving on. No real thoughts on Tampa Bay, Chicago right now. I'm probably gonna post an article on Odds Checker today. It's been like a week since I did that. I've just been so busy with my actual job. But I think I'm gonna have a play here for one of these sides today on Odds Checker. If you know what one of my favorite things to bet on one of them is at play to here today, and I will. That's all I'm gonna say.
Very good. Next play, Angels and Astros. Once again, we've got a little bit of value on the Astros. Some books much better than others, but I've played the Astros twice, again, the exact same way that I played them yesterday, if you followed along. I played minus 145 on Win. Great price on the Astros once again, but I've also played them first 5 on the run line at minus 105, minus half a run, minus 105 in the first 5. Watered down version of the Angels lineup. I think this is a pretty good spot for Framber Valdez. I like him. I like that he gets to pitch at home here. So not a lot to say about it other than I still, even though it's not the Astros of old in terms of crushing left-handed pitching, still do love them against left-handed pitching. And that's what they get here against Patrick Sandoval. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Trout and them maybe back in the lineup today, but the price is still off, in my opinion. If they're all in, my minus 170 number would be down to probably minus 162. That's basically where I've hedged it to this point.
What about your total number? Because I see it's above 8 right now. We're getting 8. You like the over?
I do lean towards the over, yes.
Wow.
Especially, yeah. So I'm not expecting Sandoval to have a good outing at all. But I do think Valdez can get hit up a little bit if Trout and Rendon are back in the lineup. I personally expect runs in this one.
Okay, I agree. I think there was a reason why I think I wanted to just fade it without really looking into it, but I looked into it and I said, you know what, this is probably a good play. It's probably going to go over. It's probably a little low, but I don't know. Maybe this is one of those ones where the models all think it goes over and it stays under by like 3 runs. It's a rather big edge across the board. Like I'm seeing a lot of models have 8, 9, and Vegas is still sitting on 8. That definitely makes me a little worried. I'm probably passing on this game. I understand your Astros side here, but yeah, I'm passing.
So the interesting thing for me will be, will they open the roof for this game or not? I think that models are projecting it to be open. It's worth a full probably 0.6 of a run or just over half a run in this stadium. But if it is open today, and even if it's not, you still get the impact of the air density a little bit, but the beautiful hitting conditions. Air density in this one, 66. That's a number that we see like mid-late summer.
It is. That is
really low air density here, 66. The wind will be blowing out. Again, it's not directly blowing out. That's where we're on the over at this point at 8. So
I agree. All right, I just put a fun little way to play the Brewers game on the premium page with some winning margins because DraftKings is giving you plus 425 if they win by 1 and plus 700 if they win by 2. So why would you take plus 185 on FanDuel? But yeah, so I posted those. If you're in the Discord, of course. If you're not, go join, please. Look, baseball on the Discord is a lot of fun. We have some fun sweats. We got literally everything going on right now. April's a really fun time. There's tennis happening, there's soccer happening, there's basketball playoffs, there's baseball. We're doing some racing stuff in there. It's a good time. It's a busy time. And we got to enjoy that because in like a month and a half, it's just going to be baseball and tennis.
Yep.
So all right. Let's keep going, though. We got a couple more games to talk about. Archer and Hernandez. I saw you have a slight edge here on Kansas City, but I don't really like much of anything here. I'm staying away from this one. Maybe fade the Twins after they won and then traveled and are now pitching Chris Archer. You could probably take Kansas City, especially if there's an edge and you know they're coming off of a win and then traveling. It could be a tough day for them. And we know Rich Hill served up meatballs like it was your grandma's Italian dinner. So I don't know if that was like, you should be like, oh man, the Twins look really good, I should stay away. Like, probably not. It's probably the Royals.
Yeah, look, I lean that way on the Royals, but fortunately, there's not a big enough edge to play it, so very comfortable to just kind of pass and ignore that game. Cincinnati on the road, San Diego, Musgrove on the mound. At least he was last night. Again, we have to confirm all of this because we run things so early over here.
It's still correct.
It is still correct, and it's an inflated line. There's starting to get to be a little tiny bit of value on Cincinnati, mostly just dead on true to market. Not going to be a situation that I want to bet into. If you like Cincinnati, I think you can comfortably bet into them. I personally do not, but I definitely don't have the edge required to play the Padres.
They look terrible, Mike. They look terrible.
Which team?
The Reds.
I think they're the worst team in baseball. I think they're the worst team in Major League Baseball.
I mean, they let Winker and Eugenio Suarez walk. Aren't both those guys on Seattle now together or something? And they're playing pretty well. Like, they were really nice players last season. I understand, look, keeping Jonathan India, a little bit of a Joey Votto goodbye tour, but like, who else is even on this team, man? I don't trust this team at all. This could be an interesting spot for like a parlay leg, adding a couple runs to the Padres or just taking the money line. They probably win this game. Reds offense just hasn't looked good. I'm not betting on that offense right now. I'm not betting on the game. Yeah, Reds. I mean, again, it doesn't look good right now for this whole team. Probably can keep fading them minus 195. Again, it isn't if you see value on the line, you can find value on the line, but I'm not really touching it. It is probably a little bit of a tax on fading them. So we'll leave it alone. Are we seeing anybody for this Baltimore game? No, we're not. So we won't worry about it. I still don't see pitchers. My guess is they are out, but I don't know.
I'm trying to find it. I mean, obviously a line is out for the game.
Right.
Ellis is pitching. I didn't run it. I can tell you there will probably be slight value on Oakland still, though, at the number I'm seeing.
Cole Irvin, though, I mean, his start to the year has been abysmal.
Yes.
I mean, look at these game logs to start the year. He gave up 3 home runs to the Phillies in his opening day game and his opener on the road, and then Tampa Bay lit him up for 3 and 6.1. It's not like it's awful, but 4 home runs in 11 innings, only 6 strikeouts. He isn't walking guys. I guess maybe returning home might help him. I don't know if you think. Yeah.
You know what helps when you've had that bad situation is returning home to play one of the worst lineups in Major League Baseball in one of the best pitching environments he could possibly see. So, I would bet on a little bit of bounce back on that side. I think the A's take care of it. I know a lot of people wanted to bet A's under on the win totals, but that team just always figures it out. They just always do.
Smart management.
They're going to I think there'll be slight edge. I haven't simulated it, but my guess is it would be around minus 155, 160.
I like the righties for the Orioles on home run props today, though. If Irvin's like serving up these meatballs a little, if he like just I think he's probably going to pitch a lot better. He's probably going to pitch well enough to get the win, but I feel like there's a good chance he just sort of lets one slip, hanging breaking ball, and that's all it's going to take for like Mountcastle to just launch one. Mountcastle and Hayes, I think, are the people I'd look at tonight if you're looking for like home run props. I wouldn't be shocked. I like Mountcastle a lot, honestly. He's a great young player.
Yep. All right. John Gray, Robbie Ray, Texas, Seattle. Great series in that division. I was a little stunned to see me come in right at market on this too. I thought I was being sneaky here, having this total at 7.4. I thought for sure we would see 8 in the market. It's 7.5. You do get minus 105, but Nothing I can get to here. Pretty much dead on. 136 for me, 135s. I'm seeing mostly in the market. Maybe there's something better at Win again. 130, yeah, but not
Yeah.
enough to really get there. Do you like anything in this one though?
Not particularly. I mean, I don't even know where to start. Like Robbie Ray is so difficult to digest right now. John Gray, very difficult to digest right now. We all thought Gray was going to come out of this position pitching at Coors, where he like looked good, was able to handle himself at one of the worst pitching parks in baseball. And you would expect him, oh, well, he's going to better parks, like as on average, he'll be pitching in better environments. And, he has like a 6.75 ERA to open the season. I like the Seattle lineup a good amount. Rangers are 2-7 to open the year. They are really having trouble figuring it out. Their lineup just isn't very trustworthy. Semien, Seager at the top. I feel like those are not like traditional leadoff hitters in the sense like they're going to get on base a lot. I guess Semien, but I don't know. I don't trust this lineup. Solak at the bottom, Ibanez, Lowe. Like these guys aren't like average hitters. I find it. This team's going to have a lot of trouble stringing together hits to make rallies happen, and their record is showing it.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Fortunately for me, I'm not interested in betting this game.
Me neither.
So yeah,
I am taking the A's on the money line though. I am going to do it. I'm posting it right now. I like the
Max Fried, Walker Buehler, fun pitching matchup here. One of the lowest lines we've seen on the Dodgers, especially at home so far this season. It's getting to the point where I might end up with a play on it. I should have a play on it right now if I go back to Win. Minus 143 is the number I'm able to get at Win Sportsbook right now. Much better than the minus 152s, minus 155s. Oh, there's a 145 at MGM. That's interesting. I'm going to end up with a Dodgers money line play here. I think I'm
already on it.
Bet on them this year, really, but I did one game in Minnesota, but I think this is a spot where I'm interested at this price point.
I really like the 145 as well. I think it's too much. Buehler hasn't exactly looked like spectacular, but he's still Walker Buehler, and he definitely could be struggling a little bit from the lack of the full spring training. There still is like a new ball. We're still dealing with all this stuff, the rosin bags. Like who really knows how everybody's doing right now? This is one of the weirdest opens to the season. I've been like trying to take it lightly. Honestly, I'm still betting quarter unit averages. I'm probably like I'm taking the training wheels off in like a week and a half. Like I want to get to full unit bets, but it's really hard right now with how baseball is. I think in the Discord we were talking, someone was posting about how the home runs are down in the parks that have the new humidors. It's there's just a lot of new stuff. This is not the same baseball game that we were betting last year, the year before. Like there's so much that's been changing in the sport. It's definitely a little hard to get your bearings, especially for me right now. So just taking it slow, not forcing anything. But yeah, I do think the Dodgers probably get this one done at home. Braves, I guess, are maybe having a little bit of a hangover. I don't know.
Yeah, the one thing that's down is the home run rate for every team, right? So home run rate's down significantly to levels below 2018. It was obviously much higher in 19, 20, 21. Something to note, someone dropped an interesting statistic the other day, I believe, which kind of worries me a little bit about betting against the Braves at some point. They've certainly underperformed on their expected runs so far. I believe they have 15 home runs as a team, and 14 of the 15 have been solo shots.
Wow.
Really hard to do.
It's hard. Really, really hard to do.
Really, really, really hard to do. So some regression in the form of actual run scoring could be in for this Atlanta team at some point. Does it come in this hitting environment against Walker Buehler? Probably not. But they should score a few more runs at some point in the near future.
I agree. So. It'll come. It'll definitely happen. I mean, again, this is a lineup that could definitely wake up as the year goes on. It's not that it's not like they're sitting in the craziest division either, so they kind of have a little leeway. They can definitely go on a run, as we saw last year, right? Like this team wasn't even looking like they were going to make the playoffs. And look, Ozuna's back; he's playing well. We're still waiting for Acuna, right? How long is he out for?
I'm not sure how long he's going to be out, but I would expect him to be back. Let's see if I can find quickly an estimated.
They have him back before May 6th.
I was going to say, I think it's in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
That's gigantic. That's huge. I can't wait for that. That's going to be fun. And honestly, because I'm sure the books will probably jump a little too far on the potency of the lineup as he gets ready to play and gets back into the swing of things. You can probably bet unders against him. But we'll see. It's going to be fun. But it's going to be a great slate. We actually have a little bit of a surprise tomorrow coming on. There's going to be a guest on the show, so we're very excited about that. But we'll leave you guys at that. I'm going to have a donkey play on Twitter later today. I'm going to let me share that right now on the show though. Let me pull up my donkey parlay of the day. We're going to be giving away a cool little donk. Let me see if I can get the donkey here right now as well. Pull us up. All right, let's see what we got. All right, here's our guy. We got this. This is going to be what we're giving away today. This gorgeous fella here. And we got the sunglasses. I'm going to give away another one if it hits. And I think we're giving one away with like a retweet contest on Twitter. And then look, we got other stuff coming too. I think we're going to start doing one of these almost every week with a giveaway with one of the NFTs. This is sponsored by the Flunk Donkeys. Definitely go check them out. One of the coolest collections on Solana. But all right, let's get to the play. Yeah, Hee Haw is right. We're gonna go with 2 baseball plays and then every favorite in basketball. We're gonna go Brewers and Padres both to get the win, and then Heat, Grizzlies, Suns. I just don't think we see the upsets in the NBA tonight. It's just, you know what, this first round it's the first round for a reason. They're gonna, we're not gonna. I think the Hawks are the only ones. I know, Mike, you said you're a little worried about the Timberwolves here beating the Grizzlies again. But I think the Grizzlies come out hungry. I think if anything, maybe the Hawks figure something out. But I don't know. Heat look good. Phoenix looks good. Grizzlies should be out hungry. So we're gonna go Brewers, Padres, Heat, Grizzlies, Suns. That's that's not returning a bad return. I'm getting plus 341 on DraftKings. And of course, if it hits, we'll do 2 winners of donkeys and look for the tweet in about an hour or so to enter the contest. So. Thank you all for hanging out with us for another Market Movers. We will be back tomorrow with another episode.
All right, guys. See that. Make sure you get over on Discord. Let me drop that link quickly before we head off, just to make sure everyone's got it. There's the Discord link, and make sure you tune in tomorrow. Big show tomorrow.